Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 22nd. I got Amit with me hanging out. He's the new CEO. We're talking AI, Mach-E's, and the Chick-Fil-A streaming network.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and stay with
Amit, how you doing on this bright, early California dreaming 5:50 a.m. morning?
Oh, dark 30. That's how it works, right? This is the time that Kobe used to get up, so this is perfect for us.
Why not? And it's West Coast, so everybody's got to get up at that time, I guess, right? Oh man, just a couple things rocking this week. We've got a really cool ASOTU Edge quick shop webinar tomorrow with a mall of Full Throttle. We're going to be talking about finding shoppers using free TV. You're not going to want to miss it. You can go to asotu.com, scroll down just a wee bit, hit that. Also, if you don't know about our docuseries More Than Cars and you've been living under a rock or not listening to this show, you should check it out. You can go to morethancars.tv, but more importantly, head to our LinkedIn on November 13th. That's right, November 13th. Circle that old date in your calendar.
Hey, Kyle, I just lost your audio right when you started talking about More Than Cars. Stand by, everybody. This is your friendly producer, Nathan. Hey, Amit, how are you doing today?
Hey,
oh, there
can
you
you
go.
hear me?
Kyle, there we go. Kyle's back.
What
I think we just got him back.
They were like, cut the mic. This guy's too much.
Hey, we're with the tech company, so something's gonna go wrong.
That's right. Something's got to go wrong. But More Than Cars, November 13th. You can't miss it. It's going to be at Mohawk Chevy, and so make sure to circle that on your calendar. Speaking of Mohawk Chevy, with Amit here, I know that they have actually been users of a company that, as of this morning, we've announced, and you've announced that you're the brand new CEO of. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I find it fascinating because I think I've said this before. I'm not even the CEO of my own house, but somebody has given me the keys to this. But it's super exciting. Yeah, they're a great partner, and I think it's just these dealers that are becoming so progressive about that extreme evolution of the customer experience. Right, we got to start doing stuff that is a little bit different for the customer. Excuse me. And Mohawk's certainly one of those dealers that's always been on the forefront. So super exciting. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. So you're brand new, but you got to give me like the 2-sentencer on Curbee. What exactly is Curbee? Just give us the 2-sentencer and then we'll get into it this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a software company, software solutions and service, and we enable dealers to offer mobile service. And the reason we were able to do so is because we've done it. We've eaten the dog food. We were a direct-to-consumer company before and pivoted, like everybody loves, to business for the dealers.
Nice. Well, speaking of pivoting operations.
Segue.
Time. Let's get into it this morning. Auto dealerships are embracing AI with the hopes of transforming operations, but AI's initial impact has been a little bit hit or miss. While there are some real gains, the promises of instant transformation haven't fully delivered. The Auto News article this morning pointed to a lot of generative AI tools like GPT helping with things like service scheduling or customer emails. But a lot of chatbots have struggled. We pointed to a story almost a year ago now where pranksters have hijacked dealership chatbots, making absurd requests.
Oh, we lost you there.
I'm having troubles this morning, fam. It's just one of those things. But we're here. Dealers are remaining hopeful, but many are still cautious. Jason Bickford of Bickford Ford said it's a really strong tool of support and helps you do your job faster and better and be more thoughtful with it. Steve Greenfield, our friend who's been on the show a lot of Automotive Ventures, said, we've only just scratched the surface, and the fear is we may have dealers that are already getting disillusioned with the overpromise and under delivery of what AI can do for them. They may already be getting numb around entertaining any vendor that is trying to sell them AI-enabled features, which I've heard that from just a couple dealers at this point.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? I think if you're not being cautious and curious about it, then you're maybe going to miss the bus per se.
Yep.
You certainly have to be aware of AI, but you have to be aware of how you at your dealership are going to have the opportunity to incorporate it, right? I remember, I've worked with OEMs and now vendors for so long that if you're not creating a soft matrix when you're evaluating your vendors, and one of them doesn't say some level of, whether or not it's artificial intelligence or some level of intelligence that they're incorporating, you might want to be fearful that they're not going to keep up over the next couple of years. But you also want to make sure that it's not a two-person company that's just fully powered by AI, because we just have no idea what they're going to get at that point, right? It just hasn't been fully vetted out yet. It's certainly some component of the business model that we all need to keep our eyes on, and it can be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. It's like if you're not leveraging some level of AI in your operations, whether you're a tech company or a dealer, you're missing the boat on a huge opportunity for efficiency. But if you're leaning in too dramatically, you potentially are creating risk in a place that you don't want to create that risk. And so this like cautious optimism, yet not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Like if one thing goes wrong, you just throw it out altogether. I think that's a point that we don't need to get to right now. And so be aware of it, be involved with it, but don't go so deep that like you just don't know what you're getting into at this point, because even the creators of this stuff don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to butcher the quote, but there's just several of them out there. And especially when it comes to hiring and even using the technology, where they say, your job's not going to be replaced by AI, but you may be replaced if you don't know how to use AI. And I think that makes a lot of sense.
Brutal. Well, speaking of making a lot of sense.
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
It looks like Ford has finally done it. They are refreshing their popular Mustang Mach-E for 2025, and it might actually look a bit more like a Mustang now. They're featuring some key upgrades in both tech and design, all while slashing the price to a new starting price of $36,495, undercutting the Model Y by nearly $8,000. The other thing that it does is it adds a standard heat pump, improving winter performance and charging efficiency. Some of the exterior upgrades include a sport appearance package with design cues from the GT model and Brembo brake calipers, while inside has sportier accents like red stitching, sports pedals, and ventilated front seats. Their updated Blue Cruise 1.5 now features automatic lane change, available via, you guessed it, subscription. Hey, but look, have you seen a photo of this thing?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the full retro 1967 Mustang that's electrified. So listen, no plugs here, but just like the Everati approach, right? Where they take iconic vehicles and they're fully retrofitting these things for EV and for the longer lives. I mean, these cars are so fast. They're so unbelievable to drive. I have a Tesla, which has free full self-driving. Full self-driving. I think it's over the last couple of weeks I've had it. I just used it a couple days ago. It's amazing how easy it is to roll in that vehicle. And I think I saw a video with Paul a couple of days ago driving in a full FSD. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And it's a little scary because of how good it is. Think about this. I was driving it. I'm a pretty impatient driver. I've got a personality. We have highs and lows. That car doesn't, right? It just does what it's supposed to do, and it has a few more sensors and cameras doing its job. So I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be super cool, and I think the Mustang is just one of the most perfect vehicles to be able to putt around in with a lot of light switch power. Yeah,
like you said, like these cars, because you get all of the torque at go, just feel so fast, and so like I've always been this. The Mustang Mach-E kind of looks like this, cross between a Mustang and a crossover that doesn't really know what it is. And so getting back into a little bit of that like sport vibe and retuning it for that, I think, more and more of these cars that just like feel so fast out the gate, looking like they feel I think is a really good thing for
Yeah.
the EV thing, because, you know, you look back at like the original EVs and it's like the Nissan Leaf and it's just a little bubble, right?
Yep.
And so now you get this like almost enthusiast feel with the EV and the power that comes alongside of that. And you start to kind of circle around like, oh, okay, like this could be sustainable for multiple types of buyers and not just kind of like the Fiat 500e, you know, it's cute.
I like that. It's got that aggressive bulldog stance. I think the thing that people miss the most is the sound. And let's be fair,
Sure.
that's available too in most of these EVs now.
Yep, exactly. All right. I got no segue for this one, but we've talked about this a couple times and it looks like it's official now, but Chick-fil-A is officially branching out into the entertainment space with a new app launching November 18th aimed at keeping families engaged with original content, games, and more. The app will have podcasts, games, recipes, and animated shows. And it's part of a strategy to connect with customers outside the restaurant, especially in the drive-thru or at home. Kalila Cooper, VP of Brand Strategy, said, "We want it to be an extension of our in-restaurant hospitality and generosity." Amit, all I got to say about this is we know a show that I think would work really well on this network.
All right, another quote I'm going to give you. It's only weird if it doesn't work.
Right.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
Chick-fil-A with its own show. But at the end of the day, brand extensions work, right? I mean, who thought that the place where you would buy books is the place where you watch most of your television and Thursday Night Football?
Yeah.
Right. So in the future, it seems like as long as these brand extensions deliver on what they're supposed to, customers are simply going to align or just lean into the brand. I mean, everyone loves Chick-fil-A for the most part, right? So if the brand extension works, like I said, it'd only be weird if it doesn't work.
Yeah. I think, you know, when we look at this from like a retail perspective or from auto, and I love the phrase that you use, brand extension, is this encouragement that like your brand doesn't have to just live in we sell and service cars right here in a location. And that as you extend that brand, we are actually talking about Mohawk, Chevy, and some of the stuff that they've done with their community partners, or, you know, brand extensions that create, you know, community-centric events, or things like that, that allow the community to experience your brand in a likewise manner, but outside of the four walls of where you exist, really gets people a lot more sticky to the why of doing business with you long-term, and creates a ton of lifetime value, because that like repetition of brand over time just becomes so ingrained in people. And so looking for these places to extend your brand, not just like by being injected into other people's things, but creating net new cultural centers. You know, there's no cars and coffee in your area. Create the brand center for that. It was something of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more you create relevant, positive engagement, the more affinity you're going to drive towards your brand. And all of us are trying to do that, right? I mean, you look at even companies, us, we're business partners to dealers and OEMs. We're letting people behind the veil. We're showing you what our hiring, like we're presenting our values. We're talking about our cultures, because for the most part, I think dealers, OEMs, companies, at the end of the day, people that eat Chick-fil-A, they want to align with brands that they have something in common with, or something that they admire. So, you know, and Mohawk's done a great job of that also, right? Like the Office episode that they put together was super cool, and it's a ton of fun too.
Yep, exactly. Well, hey, look, you got to check out the More Than Cars episode. We couldn't stop talking about Mohawk today. But look, today, your extension of your brand is right there with your people, connecting with other people on the showroom, in the sales drive. Go do it.